Thor Squad, listen, as much as we all love Ninjago and would love to be in a perfect world where every single episode and every single season is an absolute 10 out of 10, unfortunately, that reality is not with us. Because while there are some amazing episodes of Ninjago, which I've covered in both of these videos right here, being the factual top 15 and my personal top 15, in today's video, I thought it would be fun to look over the top 10 lowest rated episodes in the entire series. Yes, literally the bottom of the barrel, the worst of the worst episodes. And not surprisingly, this list is majority dominated by 2 seasons in particular. You could probably take a guess right now, pause the video, leave your guess in the comments down below, and then come back at the end of the video and see if you are right on your prediction. So with that being said, hit that subscribe button, because when we hit 10k subscribers, we will be interviewing Brent Miller, the voice of Zane, on the channel. And if you haven't checked out my other Ninjago cast interviews, you can check them out in the playlist down in the description. And now let's start with number 10. Season 16, episode 10, The Benefit of Grief, with a 6.9 out of 10 and 325 votes. And I can't lie to you, this episode makes complete sense for being on this list. It is not a great episode. In fact, I'd even argue it is a extremely boring one. I found myself trying to pull out my phone or look for anything else to do but watch this episode. Which, for context, by the way, I did rewatch every single episode before making this video. Listen, I guess the chase sequence is kind of entertaining, and I will say Sally's song is a little bit of a banger, I can't lie. But other than that, this episode is just completely, it's just boring. I don't really have much else to say about it, so let's get on to number 9, A Lesson in Anger, coming in at another 6.9 out of 10 with 274 votes. Listen, I really wanted to say I had a great time rewatching this episode. I mean, I absolutely loved the apocalypse vibe they were going for with the little news broadcast and the Crystal King's army arriving to the city. That was really cool, especially when the new ninja get there and they kind of turn into those crystal zombies. I love all that. But knowing that by the final, almost everything else in this episode is rendered completely pointless because Lloyd only goes in Oni form for like 2 seconds and they didn't even need it to defeat the Overlord. So rewatching this episode and it mainly just being Garmadon trying to get Lloyd to use his Oni form really feels like just a big waste of time. Though granted, unlike a upcoming episode on this list, it was at least over quickly being part of the 11-minute era. I would rather delete my channel than suffer through rewatching this episode again, and if it's only 11 minutes. I'm not watching this. Coming in at number 7 is once again another crystallized episode, and that is episode 9, Hound Dog McBrog, coming in at a 6.8 out of 10 with 310 votes. I've got to be honest, I don't really have much to say about this episode, and not really much happens either. It's kind of an inoffensive episode. I don't hate it, but it's definitely not one I would just rewatch for the fun of it. Honestly, I can see how it made it on this list, but I truthfully don't really think it deserves to be here because there are much worse episodes. Now, coming in at number 6 is one from one of my absolute favorite seasons of all time, and it is absolute blasphemy that it is on this list. But it is season 15, episode 10, Riddle of the Sphinx, coming in at a 6.8 out of 10 with 301 votes. I have no idea how this episode ended up on this list because it is an absolute banger of an episode. We had some great lore connecting to Nia and her powers, being able to summon sea creatures. We had great action at the end with Kalmar popping into the Explorers Club. I actually don't understand the hate for this episode and why it is so high on this list. It is seriously an insanely fun episode, and I'm gonna say it again, it doesn't belong on this list, so let's move on to the next entry. Coming in at number 6 is season 11, episode 1, with a score of 6.7 out of 10 with 435 votes. Once again, this is another banger episode that I do not think belongs on this list. The opening scene was great with a huge amount of foreshadowing for what the season has in store for us, and the fight with Wu against against the ninja was insanely fun, I'm not gonna lie. It was our first time really seeing that wild brain sauce. I mean, it is certainly not a plot-heavy episode, but I don't get why it's on here, to be honest. It is a good episode. And coming in at number 4 is Dragons Rising Season 1, Episode 13, Wildly Inappropriate, with a 6.5 out of 10 and 354 votes. Holy mother of mid. This episode is a prime example of why I will forever say Dragons Rising Season 1, and especially Part 2, is some of the most mid Ninjago content we ever got. And this episode is a great showcase of that. I literally could not even finish the episode. I was getting way too bored. It sucked. It sucked. I did not enjoy this episode. Like at all. It is definitely not as bad as the Aaron and Lloyd episode, but it's the only Dragons Rising episode on this list, so take that as you will. The Zane subplot absolutely also bogged it down. I mean, for one, how does Zane even lose a lookalike contest? Don't get me started on this episode. I hated it. It was boring. Could not even finish it. So let's just move on to the next. Okay, coming in at number 3 is where the episodes actually start to get like really bad. Call them a snooze fest. Call them boring. Just don't call them late for work. This is a bad joke anyways. Okay. Yeah, anyways, these next episodes are really bad. This episode is 16x24, Return of the Ice Emperor, coming in at a 5.9 out of 10 with 313 votes. I can't lie to you guys. This was an 11-minute episode, and I could not pay attention, and all I wanted was for it to end. The only thing I have to say about this episode is I felt a sweet, sweet euphoria of relief when I finally saw those credits. So take that as you will. Coming in at number 2 is Season 11, Episode 26, The Kaiju Protocol, with a 5.4 out of 10 and 387 votes. Okay, listen, besides some questionable things with the lore and its connection to possession, it's not entirely that bad of an episode, and I imagine for Pixel fans, it's a pretty loved one. But in my opinion, this episode could be completely removed or even skipped over, and it wouldn't take away anything from the season at all. So while it is a fun, action-filled episode, it is entirely filler, and I get why it's on the list, but top 2 is a little high if you ask me, especially when we have like much worse episodes that we've already talked about. Coming in at number 1 is Season 11, Episode 19, unfortunately named The Absolute Worst, coming in at a 5.1 out of 10, 436 votes. Irony can be cruel, but in all honesty, I don't think this episode was that bad either. It was kind of cool to see Ninjago in a different style, even though I didn't really care for it. Listen, if you like it, that's all good and dandy, but for me, it just wasn't very good. Unsatisfying to look at, I guess. Maybe it's that they're yellow people, but designed to look like anime cartoon characters. I don't know, there's just something weird about seeing the ninja like that, and I think they should have gone for a more Fortnite direction if they wanted to do something like this. I really liked the anime references, for one thing, to at least give some kind of positive to the episode. I also had a lot of fun with it. It was an enjoyable, fun, silly little side episode that didn't have too much of an impact on any of the bigger stories. Honestly, I don't think it deserves to be on this list, or at the very least, not this high on the list. Number 1 is kind of crazy when we have episodes like Wildly Inappropriate, Return of the Ice Emperor, The News Never Sleeps. Oh my god, that episode sucks so much. Oh boy, so that was the top 10 worst episodes of all time, at least according to the fandom and the IMDb scores. Do I think these episodes deserve to be in here? Absolutely. Do I think all of Crystallize should deserve to be in here as just like one single entry? Absolutely. But with all that being said, Dork Squad, be sure to let me know down below which episodes you thought deserved to be on this list and which episodes you don't think deserve to be on this list. The comments is your place to discuss, so let's get talking. I want to thank my wonderful channel members for supporting the channel, videos, and streams just like this. If you'd like to support the channel financially, you can click that join button down below and view all the available perks. If not, hitting that subscribe button means just as much. Like I said, we're trying to get that Brent Miller interview, so hit that subscribe button so we can talk to our boy Brent. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But anyways, I want to thank you guys so very much for watching. Once again, I'm Garmer Dork, and I will see you, Dork Squad, in the next video. Peace out.